Guys, I've heard she's coming back with the price of Ethereum and SBED lately. Thank you guys for showing up today. I don't know if it's cold in here or if I'm just excited to see you, but I think it's going to be a fun one again today. We got a lot to talk about as usual. Fear and greed index in the stock market is sitting at 73, so we're outside of the extreme greed zone. So again, getting a little toppy in here. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Gemini, Aaron, Midwest Cannabis, Akash, BGZ, Dario, King Size, LW Crypto, Oak, Mike, all the original OGs up in here. It's going to be an exciting day today. Sorry for clearing my throat. I overate yesterday, and so my esophagus is not feeling very good. But on the crypto side of things, guys, thank you, Tim, for the $2. Things are looking pretty good. We're still at a 68. We're actually barely in the greed zone. We kind of talked about that, how we might start to see outperformance on the crypto and Bitcoin side of things, outperformance in Ethereum specifically, and that does appear to be the case dramatically. We'll look at some of the charts we talked about with that. Let's just jump over here. We're going to look. We got earnings season starting, okay? So we've got 42 companies reporting this week. 30 companies have reported so far. 6% of the S&P 500. Overall, 80% are beating estimates, and those that beat are beating by a median of 7%. These are really good numbers. It should be a great earnings season. And based on the inflation data that we got yesterday, and potentially we're going to be looking at PPI today. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We got core, all the regular stuff. We have industrial production today, capacity utilization, manufacturing production. That comes at 8:15. Very interested to see how industrial and manufacturing are doing. We'll see if these shows weaker numbers. You have to keep in mind, guys, we've got Donald Trump talking about firing Powell, and now Cynthia Loomis and others, Luna, we've got these people that are saying that they have it on good standing that either Powell will be resigning or that he'll be getting fired. I think that this is messaging for what's going to happen. They're trying to, if there's anything that Trump is brilliant at, and again, he's got his faults. No man's perfect. I don't necessarily like the guy on everything, Epstein list, but if there's anything he's good at, it's moving the Overton window. If you don't know what the Overton window is, you should look at it. I live outside of the Overton window. There's not a lot of people with their feet kicked up watching YouTube videos driving their Cybertruck around town. That's me. So I'm very comfortable there. Not everybody is. And the first thing you do whenever you want to change the norm and without shocking people is you start to say some crazy shit that's going to happen, and then you normalize it. And that is what Trump is doing right now. Guys, thank you for all the tips. Good morning, Helga. Good morning, Loss on Crypto. So I think that's what's happening. And so I think inflation's in a really good place. We'll look at some of that data in a little bit. Just even looking at Trueflation, again, I'll refresh this real quick to see if it's got an update, but 1.71 is not a crazy number, 1.82. So again, meandering in this range. This is well within the zone of what Papa Powell says he wants to be in. And if we go back over here to even the end of last year when we were in the threes, this looks yummy. This looks good, right? And again, this is more real-time data. They use APIs that tie in with all the different sectors of the economy. So whether it's real estate, whatever it is, they look at this stuff. And you can look over here. So again, food and beverages has a category. They talk about how it's broken down and what percentage it reflects in their inflation-related data. They've got housing, they got transportation, utilities, health, household, alcohol, clothing, communications, education, recreation. And they show you, again, biggest components sitting at the top. Shelter, still a huge part, 23.2%. And we know that that's continuing to come down. Tom Lee's been talking about it for a while. And as that comes down, it helps us. It helps us. And so tariff-related inflation is almost non-existent because, again, people can make decisions and go, wow, that really got expensive. Do I even want to buy that? Not to mention that most of the retailers on Amazon, they are doing direct, and so they have to eat the cost. They have nobody to pass it on to. They either lose sales, massive amounts of sales, and get crushed, or they lower the prices and can keep producing even at a loss. And that's a lot of that has been happening. So I think people just don't pay enough about the fundamentals of what's happening to understand them. and that's at their detriment, not ours. That just creates disparities that make us happy. So a couple things to talk about. So Ethereum treasuries are on fire. We've got SBET up 15% again today. That's pretty wild. I've got an account over here, guys, that I never pay attention to. I was going to deposit more money into it, and I just never did. It's on Robinhood. I'll pull it over here real quick. And the funny thing is, this thing was a $300,000 account about 10 days ago, 11 days ago. Yeah, right there, right? And now it's almost $900,000. And the majority of this was SBET. I had another great play, too, in here. I can't even remember for the life of me what the fuck it was. But, again, just wicked gains. Wicked gains. So, game. So, 15% on SBET today. Bit minor, the Tom Lee play. It looks like it's not going to be filling those gaps. I'm pretty much out of it, so whatever. It is what it is. Made a mistake there. That's okay. Up 20% in pre-market. Maybe it still goes down, but if you guys didn't hear, Peter Thiel just bought $180 million in this company, and Tom Lee just put in $2 million of his own money. That does inspire some confidence. If this thing doesn't stay up, I'll probably be looking to acquire some and diversify a little bit. And then Game. You guys said Game. We bought some of that the other day on the show, sitting 40% up in pre-market. Watch your entry on that today. That's a lot of gains. Sold, a 2X Solana fund is up 8.32%. DFDV, again, Solana Treasury up 8.6 in pre-market, looking to break out. We can look at that chart later. And then UPXI, the UPXI ticker symbol, it looks like that is up almost 8% in pre-market. So it looks like people are already trying to front-run Solana's move for treasuries as well. So just a lot of good stuff happening. We do have Metaplanet and the Smarter Web Company not doing great, or at least I should say this. Metaplanet, the 3350 Japanese ticker, down another 6.5% overnight. And DN3 out of Germany, the German ticker for Metaplanet, down 5.53%. Guys, I might have to put another couple $100,000 into Metaplanet and Smarter Web Company today. And I'm willing to do it. You can twist my arm. It'll happen. So Smarter Web Company down 6.3%. I think that's from yesterday, actually, though, in the UK market. And I've got to show this to you. Before we jump too far. It's just too pretty. So the Smarter Web Company, I don't hate this. I don't hate this chart at all, guys. So again, we got these weird wicks down. I don't know. I think that's noise or somebody dumped. I mean, the volume here is insane. If somebody dumped a market order on their SWC and bid it all the way down to, and they're on the Aqueous exchange network. I think they are going to be uplisting. I want to talk about that in regard to Metaplanet and Smarter Web. I'm very excited about those, which is why I want to buy more. If somebody dumped this down to 0 in a split second because they market ordered this shit and like pre-market or something, you could see a couple of these really crazy wicks. I might have to put in limit orders, guys. If people are going to be doing this to me screams that there might not be enough liquidity on Aqueous, which is great. I don't think this happened, though. I don't know if that I'll ever get fills on this because I do think this is on that exchange directly. I don't think I don't think the books like on Ally and these others are going to let this thing go down to 1 cent. So I don't know if you're going to get rich. Might not hurt to put some limit orders in there, guys. I mean, if this did translate into our markets, it would be a beautiful thing. But again, let's just look at this chart here real quick. We've got the 4-hour. This is, again, the UK chart. It only goes back to, like, is it May? Yeah, May, because that's when, or April, I'm sorry, because that's when these guys listed. But this is gorgeous right here. So again, resistance, 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 broke above, tried to back test, bouncing off of a back test. And how far down did we go on the non-wick? 60%. That is a beautiful number in my opinion. I think the MNAV on Smarter Web is looking much more reasonable. It is on Metaplanet. It's looking ridiculous on Metaplanet. We're in like the low 3s with dilution. It's just fucking stupid. But, that's where we make money, guys. I make money on looking and finding the disparities in pricing in the markets and then salivating as they grow bigger and bigger. And I'm always thinking 20 steps ahead, right? Or at least trying to. Not always successful, but trying to. And I love that disparity right now. Let's look at Bitcoin in regard to search terms and see how we're sitting here. I'll try and get caught up in chat too. So we're going to 2004 to present. Previous cycle top. Previous cycle top. Fed raises rates at the most aggressive rate in history, preventing this from going any higher. This is where we are right now. It's just a little baby. It's just a little baby. And it screams, retail isn't here yet. I had somebody make a comment that was really good. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. It's an OG for sure, somebody who's been here a long time. But they said, yeah, well, retail isn't here, but retail isn't going to be buying Bitcoin. That's true. That's a really good point. Retail isn't going to be buying Bitcoin, and retail is slowly starting to come here. Those are good points. But here's my point. It's great that retail isn't buying Bitcoin. You know what they're going to be buying? They're buying SBET. They're going to be buying Smarter Web Company. They're going to be buying Metaplanet. They're looking for multipliers. They want the big money. They look at people posting on X, and they look for whoever has the highest percentage, and they follow that person. So you're right. They're not going to be buying Bitcoin. They're going to be buying all of the really speculative shit that we're already positioned in. That's what they're going to be doing. SEP, Cantor Fitzgerald. We got Cantor Fitzgerald spacking it up to billions of dollars going into that. I love this chart on Cantor Fitzgerald. It's one of my favorites. I am going to adjust it. So sometimes you have to recalibrate these charts because there's new inputs, and those new inputs change the barriers a little bit, right? So this is a more clean chart now because it shows that on the daily time frame, resistance very clearly, resistance, tried to get above, slam down, climbing back up. So yes, I do think that this is an interesting play. It is $430 million. And again, this is SEP, which is going to turn into XXI. I think there's a decent amount of dilution that's still going to be coming in. But I do see a breakout coming too. I don't know when they're finalizing the deal. If anybody knows that in chat, I haven't had time to read up on it. I would be curious. Also, in regard to other Bitcoin treasuries that are getting ready to break out. And I don't know, maybe this one doesn't happen. This is the Pomp one, right? This is CCCM. What I love here, and this is a really small time frame, guys. This is only a 4-hour chart, so keep that in mind. If it goes up here to this fib, it's only like a 50% gain. I hate, it's so weird saying only a 50% gain. That makes absolutely no sense. But yeah, my gains aren't as high. People, Dom Tong, you got a 212%. See, I didn't just buy when I was down at the bottom. I kept aggressively piling into SBET. So some people that have jumped in along with me, they've got better gains because they just bought once near the bottom, and then didn't buy a bunch afterwards. But again, I'm sitting at almost $900,000 in SBET after trimming a decent amount, probably like 15, 20%, maybe 25% of my original position. Still doing really well. But I like this. I like this curvature. I like the base. I like all the volume underneath. What we need from you, Pompliano, is we need some fucking buys, bro. Give us some buys so that we can see this thing popping like it's hot. And then we'll have a good time. Real quick here, though, guys, before we get too far into it, you guys speak amongst yourselves, and I will get caught up in chat. I do have to hit the restroom real quick, though. So I'm going to go back here on this video. We're going to see... I'm going to give you Gary Cohen for a second here, guys. 1 second. And I will be right back. Give me a second.
To products that will perform well above market expectations over longer periods of time. And I think the history of private markets is that they have outperformed through the cycle. And a 401k is a perfect vehicle to put something like that in because you more or less buy it, you somewhat forget about it,
hopefully,
you own it. And you know, hopefully the duration is you'll buy it when you're 30 years old and you can't get the money out for another 35 years.
Right.
So you've got 35 years of compounded appreciation.
Does that change the marketplace so more companies stay private, or does it change the marketplace so more companies go public?
I think at the end of the day, it probably will have very little effect on companies going private and companies going public. You can buy a private company in a 401k and have it go public and end up with shares delivered to you. I don't think the owner of the 401k cares. They actually might like it. At the beginning, they bought something private that they'd appreciate it a lot, and at the end, they got something very liquid and transparent that they could easily liquidate. They don't have
There
to
we
wait
go.
for someone else to liquidate. If you would tell people that would be the normal path of trajectory.
Not sure if you got any value from anything he said, but hey, man, it let me go to the bathroom, which is valuable to me. Real quickly here, we're going to look at a lot of stuff. I want to look at SBET real quick too, and then we'll get to start some other news related events that I want to talk about. So, and I'll try and get caught up in the chat in a second here. So, real quickly on SBET, guys, I did close some positions. I closed another 35K, I want to say. I'll try and update that this morning after this is done. What I wanted to tell you guys is we've hit the fib right here perfectly, 33. So again, I have sales orders sitting in these numbers. So we've closed the gap now. The gap is gone. Gap gone. No more gap. And again, we had a launch. Remember when I told you to buy down here? Does anybody remember that? Anybody remember the 8s and the 9s? What a day. People told me I was an idiot. They told me I was an idiot and that I was going to get people wrecked. It's funny how smart people become when things drop 90% and they're bag holders. But I'm a bag holder too. The only difference is I got my bag down here. Sorry, late today. Did we talk about MetaPlanet? No, we can't. A little bit. We talked about how MetaPlanet and the Smarter Web Company have been going down. I'm selling about $220,000 in Tesla this morning. I'm selling one account, buying in another. Already made some buys again today. Again, this was a $300,000 account about, I guess, 15 days ago now. And now it's closer to 900,000. I'm selling little bits of SBIT. I sold some today. Let me see if it shows this without showing too much. Yeah, that's not bad. So again, it sold a 34,000 automated order in pre-market. I actually love Robinhood. I'm having so much fun with it. Really, Robinhood is amazing. And again, getting extended hours. Ally doesn't do that for me right now. It's really valuable, and the 24-hour trading is so fucking cool. So I sold. So this automated trade hit because again, we hit the fib perfectly. So I'm bowing out, right? I'm cashing a little bit out. So, but I still have a ton of this, almost 900,000, probably $850,000 right now in SBET, even after trimming a decent amount, 6-figure amount in the last several days. And I've got a bunch left, about 23,000 or something, or maybe 22 and change right now. And I'll just keep trimming that away. But I'm looking at selling it probably $250,000 in Tesla. Buying some in this other account, because in some of these accounts, like I don't have access to MetaPlanet and SWC in here, right? Robinhood doesn't have any of this shit. And that's something I want to talk about. I've been noticing something. I've been noticing that Simon from MetaPlanet are quiet. I've been noticing that Adam from the Smarter Web Company has been quiet. I've been noticing that all these guys have went kind of dark. They're doing interviews, but we're not seeing a lot of social media posting. Here's what I think is getting ready to happen. I think that these guys are getting smarter and they're getting ready to uplist. And I think when they're uplisting, a lot of our problems go away, and then the amount of inflows of highly demand capital are going to get a lot better. Because right now, some of the things that suck are like, again, foreign exchange fees, limit orders only, not being able to do market order depending on what market you're in. There's a lot of issues right now that I'm not having with SBET. I can trade that on Robinhood just fine. I'm not having that with even BMNR. I think you can get that on Robinhood just fine, right? There's a bunch of things where it's like really clean market orders. You can get them on Hood. Hood's becoming more popular by the day. I think they're trying to resolve these issues so that we can start to see massive inflows into MetaPlanet and the Smarter Web Company. And the MNAVs right now, guys, are ridiculous. They're really, really good. And so, people gave me a lot of shit because I liquidated about 70%. I originally had $2 million in MetaPlanet. And I the entire time, it's not like I've been talking shit about it. I'm like, I love MetaPlanet. I think it's amazing. But the entire time, I've been reducing my position and jumping into other things. And people gave me a hard time for it, but they're not giving me a hard time for the money I'm making on SBET right now. They're not giving me a hard time for the 50% up that I am right now with game and pre-market. There's a lot of things that have benefited me really well. And as these are doing well, I'm able to put more money back towards MetaPlanet and the Smarter Web Company. Unfortunately, on Ally, I can only do it in $10,000 blocks, which is frustrating as fuck when I'm trying to do, I've got to do 25 trades to be able to buy more MetaPlanet and Smarter Web. But again, Ally even had buys on Smarter Web locked. A lot of these problems are going away, guys. A lot of these problems are going away. And what do you think happens when they do? When the problems for difficulties for buying these go away, what do you think happens to these investments that have crazy low MNAVs and things like this? Let's look real quick here. Let's look. This right here, guys, this is the Smarter Web Company. The dotted line is the MNAV. You can see how this thing was up to 17 over here when it peaked, when everybody was getting excited and I was making money. 21x. What is it at right now? 5.3 and if you look at this real quick, this is with dilution. So look at this. It's like rock bottom, guys. It's rock bottom. It's like what it was when this company originally IPO'd. And they have grown their stack like a beast over that same time. Just like a beast. Let's look here. Look at this. Everybody was excited about MetaPlanet. Everybody's talking about MetaPlanet being so amazing. And they are. They have like the most aggressive buy schedule. But Smarter Web dwarfs theirs. It dwarfs it. It's not even close. There's nobody that's close. Coincilium isn't close. Nobody's close. And so, again, I'm very excited about this. I'll be buying Smarter Web Company today. I'll be getting decent six figures, probably $250,000 worth of MetaPlanet and Smarter Web today, because we're buying that fucking dip. And then, again, I'm kind of, the way I'm having to do it, I am, as I hit my targets on SBET, I'm selling small amounts of those and soon larger ones. And by soon, I mean, like I'll sell a bigger chunk at 60. I'll sell a bigger chunk in the 80s on Smarter Web Company. I'll sell a really big chunk at 120, and another really big chunk, and maybe even be out at $160 a share, which right now, what is it at? 33. Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of fun. There's a lot of really good fun. Where is that chart on SWC website? Oh, it's here. I'll throw it out here. They all have this stuff. So if you go, this is the smarterinvestmentguide.com. That's that one. All of them have it. They copied the strategy formula. And so again, MetaPlanet has their own too. MetaPlanet has their hours where you can see everything. Here's MetaPlanet's analytics page, which I dig quite a bit. And their analytics page, what does it say their NAV is at right now? 3.22. I don't know if they have a good chart for historical on this one, but that is one of the record low levels. If we go to bitcointreasuries.net and look at this, it's insane. What is this, by the way? Is this one of the charts I was looking for? Oh, this is Forza. So this is Concilium. You can see how even Concilium can't keep up with Smarter Web, but Concilium is still stacking more aggressively right now than what we saw with MetaPlanet back in the day. So good stuff. Let's go to Bitcoin Treasuries real fast. I just want to see with MetaPlanet and also Sequoians. Everybody's forgetting about that. I bought a bunch of options contracts in this one. I could still see this thing flying. That's the SQNS ticker. It's on here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Right here. Look at this. They've got 1,053 Bitcoin, and their market cap is what? 674 million. Their enterprise value is 329. These guys are running at like a 2x NAV, guys. I think. Am I looking at the numbers right? Let me look. MNAV. Nope, it says it over here. What does it have them calculated at? It says 5.3. I'll have to look at that. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I still think this one is a steal. I think it's a really good price. They're just getting stacked, and they're just starting their stack, and they're already at number 31. Again, this is associated with Ben Workman. He's a stud. Dom Tong, BMNR, SBET are the early time of MSTR. The difference now is, well, and they have a crazy multiplier. And don't get me wrong, guys, Ethereum is not Bitcoin. I think you need to look at Tom Lee's approach to this. Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and it's the only one that's ever going to exist. It is the store of value for the planet. It is the way to not get debased for your wealth. And then during bull markets, things like Ethereum and some of the other shit coins that are probably, Ethereum's probably the internet for the world. So is Solana. There's probably maybe a couple of different tools. where behind the scenes these things are running and people use them to transfer money around and to move assets and to, again, do a bunch of other cool shit that we haven't done in the past. I think that thesis is true. Most likely, it's going to be something like that. But even if it's not, the narrative right now is strong, and you're going to make a ton of money off of it. So I don't know why people get their panties in a bunch, like Bitcoin maximalists. I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the future. It is the store of value for the world. But that doesn't mean you can't have some fun playing in the other games. Do you prefer traditional IRA or Roth? I've got both. It doesn't really matter as far as trading. Here's the thing. With a Roth IRA, never cash that bitch out. Not until you retire. Why? Because it's after tax. And why would you cash out something that you're going to pay no tax on when you retire? The traditional Roth, you're going to get taxed at like a 10% withdrawal unless you have an annualized distribution, which you should look up, because then you can tap into that without having to pay the 10% penalty. And then it just counts as income. And if you've made, I don't know, like me, almost $6 million, you can start pulling little bits. And by little bits, I mean like $250,000 a year, and add that to your income you're getting from social media, about $250,000 a year. And all of a sudden you're making $500,000 a year, but you're really not taking that much from your stack. You're getting taxed at, without the penalty, probably like 38% or something like that. Or the higher end tax bracket. I don't even know what it is off the top of my head. But at the same time, that really amounts to dick, because if you're taking out $250,000 a year and you're getting taxed even like a 38-40% on it, but your assets are sitting at $6 million sitting in your investment account, it doesn't really mean anything to you, even though you're paying that higher tax rate, because you're not pulling a lot of those funds. And so if people think that you can't live off your retirement earlier, you just need to turn it into a really big fucking number. I wanted to talk about something else real quick before I go deep into all this other stuff. Actually, this might be a good segue, so we'll start looking at posts. So I wanted to talk about this. Oh, and guys, I'm already at 91,600 followers. Or in a couple, it was just yesterday, I want to say, that we got to 91. So thank you guys all for that. And 3,126 subscribers is a huge number. We were in the 2,300s less than 2 months ago. So this is beautiful stuff, guys. I really appreciate it. I want to go down. So again, Canadian public company buys Bitcoin. Okay. Panamanian public company buys Bitcoin. Okay. Swedish company buys Bitcoin. Okay. Tesla looking at a newer, cheaper model going to China. That will probably help a lot with sales. That's cool. And again, Fundstrat buying $2 million worth of his own company. Love that. Or the company he's affiliated with. So I wanted to post this. I don't always agree with Andrew Tate, especially about, like, I don't know, women. He's just such a dude sometimes. Anyway, I did say he's right about this. He said the entire Western Hemisphere of real estate markets will collapse. And I'm going to talk about this anecdotally in my own personal life and what I'm going through right now. He said the Ponzi can no longer find new capital as young people with 50K opt for 0.5 BTC versus using it as a deposit for 25-year interest of slavery. I agree with that. So I was originally looking at 2 million plus. I was looking at $2.4 million in housing. I've decided to cut back on that dramatically because I've been looking at the lower end of the market, and I'm noticing that the people in the 2 million plus range aren't selling. They're not selling, at least not in my local area in the Midwest. This is fascinating to me because I can buy a house for like $1 million. In some cases, I just looked at one that was $900,000 that isn't much smaller than this house I was looking at buying for $2 million. And the other one was, the $2 million was done nicer. It had nicer finishings. It was kind of cool. It had a speakeasy off of the home theater room. It was interesting, right? It was very cool. It was very cool. But these other houses are about the same size. In one case, it's got a 4-car garage instead of the 3 that this other one has. And it's $900,000, and it's just a little bit smaller. It's not done up as much, but again, it's kind of an open palette for me to do stuff with. But I can save $1 million. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to save that $1 million. I'll put a small amount down. I won't be paying a higher rate. I got approved for a $2.4 million house, but because I'm using IRAs and other stuff as that's where a lot of my wealth is stored. There's only so many people that will finance that. So I'm dropping down. I'm sticking with my income. I'm getting it to where I can get $1 million house without having to pay a higher rate, without having to pay extra points. And because why would I give away hundreds of thousands of dollars and lock myself into an additional $1 million on a loan when I can have payments that are a third of what I would have been paying with this other stuff, or $1.5 million on a loan, and I can pay a third for the monthly payments that I would have been paying, live in $1 million house that is, 5,000 square feet, has a 4-car garage, and, kind of a beautiful property. Why wouldn't I just save all that money and use that to have fun, live life, and again, keep as much of my assets as I possibly can? Why wouldn't I do that? I never took the deposit out. I stopped it at the last minute. I stopped the wire transfer I was going to do for $400,000. And I never took it out, so I didn't have that tax obligation. But I've kind of rewired my brain to try and be smart. It's really easy to get excited when you have a bunch of money, to be like, you know what, I deserve this. I need to go spend some and have some fun. Spend the least amount you can. That's my advice. Even though I'm getting near the 6 million mark now, guys, I don't want to spend a bunch of money. I want to borrow cheap debt. And I strongly believe, too, with what Trump is talking about here, trying to get 300 bips, firing Powell, that we will be forcibly see lower interest rates. And I know people are going to be like, oh, that's not how it works, Jesse. The bond market will decide. The bond market is Republicans, guys. Did you not know that? The stock market is the Democrats, and they've been losing the war because the stock market's going up like fucking crazy when they'd like to see it fall, and they're going to end up chasing because they got political and they jumped out of markets only to see them scream higher. So the liberals, the Democrats, are losing dramatically because they own the stock market and they're not making money off of it. Just ask J.P. Morgan and Jamie Dimon. But the bond market is the conservatives, and they get to dictate the price. And the bond vigilantes are going to be like, you know what? I kind of like what Trump's doing, especially when we pass this Genius Act and crypto market structure bill. So I'm really excited about where things are headed. I think interest rates are coming down. And then what I'll do, I'll buy an $800,000 4+ acre gated community lot. And I'll build a $3 to $4 million home on it as rates are dropping and as I hit $20-30 million in my assets. And I'll get a much better deal, probably comparatively, something close to what I would have been paying for a house payment for a $2.4 million house, but only it'll be like 3.5. And it'll be done at a more appropriate time. So I just always think about your finances and balance things out, and take a step back sometimes if you're getting a little too giddy, because it's not worth it, guys. It's not. Spend your money slowly, make it quick, and by make it quick, I mean like over years, make a lot of it. And again, not too quick because you can lose it just as fast. All right, so again, we've got about 11 minutes until we get PPI data, guys. This is going to be very, very fun. Can't wait for it. We're just going to keep rocking through stuff while we're waiting on our PPIs. Japanese public company, yada, yada, buys Bitcoin. Okay. Peter Thiel bought $180 million worth of BMNR. Tom Lee is a good salesman. I told you guys this. If Tom is telling you to buy something, there's a really good chance you're going to make a shit ton of money. Limit the bum as James investor answer. Oh yeah. Or the burn. Yeah. Sorry, my eyes. Luckily, I've got a visit with my eye doctor here soon, so I can get an updated prescription. But yeah, that's 100% right. Limit the burn. He's 100% right, man. Save your money. Save it for future generations. Build something real for the people you love. Guys, I've been spending money, but it's on the house I have right now, the one I bought for $102,000 fucking dollars years ago. And that house now is worth probably $450,000. And I'm doing that because my parents will move in here when we move out. I'm making the air conditioning nicer. I'm putting in water softeners. I'm insulating it better. I'm refinishing a bunch of things. I'm making it beautiful for them, which makes me way more rewarded for a much lower amount of money than spending money on myself buying crap. And I'm helping my brother and his family pay off all their fucking debts. I'm helping my mother-in-law, who I bought a Tesla Model Y for, move into a nicer apartment until eventually we build our dream home, and she has her own she-shack that'll be attached to it. And more. I'm doing a lot more. My niece, I paid so that she can get her fucking braces off. That's the stuff you spend your money on. It's way more rewarding, and it's way better than a Lambo. Smarter Web Company buys 325 BTC, now holding 1,600. This is beautiful stuff, guys. Real beautiful stuff. And again, the president, I'm in the Oval Office with 11 of 12 congressmen and women necessary to pass the Genius Act. They didn't pass it, and they didn't pass it for a great reason. Why didn't they pass it? They didn't pass it because they don't want a CBDC to be created in the future. They don't want Brad Garlinghouse to have XRP CBDC controlled by the government in the future. So they said, fuck no, this only passes when we get guarantees that that's not going to happen. Okay? So this is good stuff. This is what you want. They're going to vote for it today, and they're going to pass it. Imagine what happens to these markets when that passes. SBET is insane. Insane. They are the largest holder of Bitcoin right now. There is stuff I want to show you here real quick. Let's go back over to treasuries, only this time it's going to be on the Ethereum side. We'll see if we can zoom this in. So the Ethereum Foundation, think Vitalik Buterin, has less Ethereum now than SharpLink Gaming, SBET. SBET has a 2.1 billion cap. They've still got a bunch of money left to buy Ethereum. Their MNAV was only 2.35, might be a little higher right now. But when you look at this compared to some of these others, like even BMNR has 163,000. They went in big in the beginning, but they're still way behind these guys. They got like 50% of where they're at. I don't even know if this shows the latest buy from SBET. And their MNAV premium is 4, so it's almost double what SharpLink is. So am I jumping into BMNR right now? No. I think it could still underperform SharpLink, because SharpLink still has a bunch more money to buy more Ethereum. They could be at 500,000 soon enough, man. Maybe there's another announcement coming today. So I'm just crazy excited about all this. Live by example. Yes, Livongo. That's something that I have failed at miserably in my life, living by example. I always tried to live by aspiration and tell people what they should be doing because that's what I wanted to do. You know what's way more effective? Living the life that you want to live and then showing that to other people. Way better. People will look at you and go, shit, you look really fit. Wow, you just bought that. Wow, you did this for these people. I need to be doing that. Can I talk to you? That's how you make change in people's life. You represent it in your own, because otherwise it's just talk. And it's why I love Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius and all these other people are so brilliant. And all the way, I mean, this when you have this view of reality and how to live it that's created by a fucking slave, and then you have one of the greatest leaders of the Roman Empire at its peak, following those examples that they gathered from a slave. What is that, Senecus? I can't remember. It's beautiful, right? Like, it's beautiful that both one of the poorest and oppressed people and one of the most powerful are like, yes, this is what you do in life. This is how you live your life. You live it by example. You live it for other people. Anyway, I don't know why I'm going down this rabbit hole. In addition to becoming the largest ETH holder among corporate entities, this is SBET. They've got one of the greatest marketing people, whoever's running this X account. SharpLink raised approximately $413 million in net proceeds through its APM program from July 7th through the 11th. Guys, they have $257 million left to buy without diluting. So, just an FYI, this bitch is still going up. So right now, I do think it's a great investment. I just think it was a lot better at $9 when I was telling you to buy it, instead of where it is right now, which is at what? I don't even remember, 33. So yeah, I think there was a better place to buy it. Look at how it perfectly hits the fib here, guys. This is not astrology for men. It's just not. There is truth in numbers, and people that say that stuff, I just block them. I don't have time for them. I don't have time for you to educate me on my astrology for men because it's too busy making me a shit ton of money. And SBET is still down 73% from its all-time high a couple of months ago. That's fascinating, isn't it? Still got a long way to go. Why would you hold SBET beyond 100? Good question. I think because of where I think it's going. I think SBET. In short. I think 81 is an easy number. That's the fib retracement line. But again, I'm selling. I sold some here. I sold some here. Right when we got to the gap, I sold it. I sold some up here at the fib. I sold some right here at my first fib extension. I sell very small amounts, and then I sell aggressively. I shouldn't say aggressively, but larger amounts. So at 51, I think I'm set to sell like 5,000 or something shares out of 22,000. At 84, I'm set to sell like another 5,000. At 123, the previous high, I'll probably sell at least another 5,000. And then I might be out at 161 because I think that's where it could go to. So I have targets. You'll see my targets, guys, go pretty high. But I'm also selling out on the way up. Just realize it. Astrology that works for men. Yes, exactly. Anyway, let's put this away. We got more stuff to cover. Oh, guys, I think we've got about that time, too. What time is it? 7:27. Okay, we still got 3 minutes. Ooh, crypto legislation. Let's listen to this real quick, guys. And can you guys do me a favor? If you find this valuable, can you please hit the like? Please hit the like. I won't even ask if you guys just do it. Please hit the like. Comment after the videos, too, if you're still around, just to kind of boost it. I want to grow. I want to help more people. It's not for revenue. I make jack shit off of ad revenue. And if you don't talk and you just lurk, it is free to see all these videos and all the alpha that I'm dropping. But I want to spread this to more people. We'll have more influence when we do. And we'll help guide people in the appropriate direction and speed up the growth of Bitcoin in our way and for what we can. Okay? And we want to increase the adoption of Bitcoin. We want to increase the adoption of everything that pulls us away from a fiat-based system. So please hit the like. I don't ask for much. Only 50 likes. Yeah, guys, 50 likes out of how many people? We got 1,100 people and 50 likes. Kind of fucked up. Please do your part, okay? I will help you. I will do my best to guide and provide whatever assistance I can in helping you understand the world and the reality around it. Please do your part. It's not a lot to ask. Let's go back over here real quick. We're going to go back. I want to hear this from the beginning.
Chairman, going to happen today. Joining us now, Financial Services Committee Chairman French Hill. Good morning. It's good to see you, Congressman.
Good morning.
And Chairman, we heard that, I guess, rumblings that maybe the votes weren't there, and then the president met with some individuals yesterday. Are you confident now the votes are there?
Yeah, Bitcoin will help the entire world. You fix the money. If you guys remember that, what was it? Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, that old TV show. I can't even remember what the fuck it was called. Got really bad a couple seasons in. Anyway, that's true about money. We have to fix the money. It's the reason why we have low birth rates. It's the reason why people are so depressed. It's the reason why people don't feel comfortable in their own bodies. All of these things are related to each other. It's all math. When people don't have opportunity, they get weird. That's just how it works. You can look at history. And again, the fall of Rome was because of money printing and too much expansion. Let's not have the fall of Rome. Let's create the beginning of a utopia. AI and robotics and autonomy and Bitcoin can give us a future and make that people dream of, in a timeline that people dream of, and turn us into a Star Trek and not a Star Wars where we're fighting, we're fighting the Death Star and having to worry about the obliteration of society. Let's be in the right timeline.
I believe that we do have the votes to advance the Senate Genius Act, which will create the first federally regulated, with clear rules, dollar-backed payment stablecoin, which will unleash a new competitive round in how payments are done when they're used in a blockchain application. We also have the House's work on market structure.
Oh, you're right. Economic data. We'll come back to you. Sorry, French. All right, so we got core PPI at 2.6, lower than consensus and forecast by 0.1 and 0.2 bips. PPI year over year, 2.3%, lower than consensus and forecast. We're going to the fucking moon. These are good numbers. These are good numbers. This is it, guys. This is it. The market's going to fucking love this shit. They're going to love this shit. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Yeah, Jerome Powell's gone. It doesn't even matter if he's gone. He's going to have to do everything they tell him to do. It's over. It's over. Guys, please share this video. People need to get in here. Please share it. Hit the likes. People need to hear what's going on right now. Oh, my God.
Structure, which we've worked through the House Ag Committee and the House Financial Services Committee.
I got goosebumps.
Strong bipartisan support for that
My
bill.
God.
And then finally, Whip Tom Emmer of Minnesota. Mr. Emmer has his bill that blocks the federal government from creating a central bank digital currency through the Fed unless it's done with a specific authorization through Congress. So I believe that the House has the votes for those three measures, and the Speaker is working this morning on how they'll be.
Guys, we just got inflation for producers. Producers aren't seeing inflation. That is so against Jerome Powell's narrative, and I've been saying this shit the whole fucking time. We are on fire. We're getting ready to have the Genius Act. We're gonna be preventing future CBDCs, and inflation does not exist. Does not exist. Oh, that's enough. We're done with CNBC for a bit. This is so good, guys. This is so good. I have not been bullish enough. I haven't been bullish enough, and I've been so fucking bullish. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get so fucking crazy. It's going to get so crazy. Oh, all right. Let's keep going. President Trump will be hosted on the All In podcast along with the Hill and Valley Forum in a summit focused on U.S. global AI dominance. Again, maybe he's a pedophile. I hope not. But Trump is doing things right with this, okay? And if it turns out that he ends up being a bad guy in a number of ways, we can always replace him, or at least control we can help control the future of the United States and get rid of the cabal with the America Party. So it all works out, guys. Got to be optimistic. But this is amazing. And AI dominance, I can't wait for this. This is July 23rd. So in a week, we're going to have this podcast to look forward to. I am stoked. The Bears right now are so scared, guys. I posted this yesterday. Barely anybody liked it. FactSet is an amazing company. They said that S&P will likely, these guys are good on earnings stuff, guys. So good. Will likely report earnings growth above 9% for Q2. And then what did we get from Tom Lee? And again, I shouldn't show all of his work. But what did we get from Tom Lee? Tom, I'm sorry. I did, guys, I have big fucking players. I have big players like Tom Lee and others with millions. I had CoinMarketCap reaching out to me saying they want to do business with me. I actually might end up doing that. They have 8.2 million or something followers on X, and they want to promote me and then have me probably promote CoinMarketCap. I actually like CoinMarketCap, and I love their crypto. So, guys, if you're still watching me, yes, let's do it. But this is it's just crazy because I'm meeting people and engaging with people I never thought I would at all. Again, the Mario Nawfals of the world, the Tom Lees of the world, the CoinMarketCaps, TradingView. There's all these companies and people that talk to me, and it blows my fucking mind. And then I've got people that want to talk to each other, and I'm setting up meetings. It's so weird. It's so weird. But again, what did they say? 9% they believe it'll beat by? Right now, with only 6% of the S&P reporting, we're seeing a median of 7% with 80% beating estimates. This is good stuff, guys. This is good stuff. I'm a high school dropout. I went to high school for a fucking year and a half. And I'm facilitating conversations with people with millions of followers and some of the people that are like on CNBC daily. It's weird, guys. Bitcoin historian, massive breaking Wall Street giant Cantor Fitzgerald to invest $4 billion in new Adam Back-led Bitcoin company, FT. The Financial Times, they'll buy $3 billion worth of BTC. Here we go, $3 billion, guys. You also had JD Vance casting the deciding vote in the Senate, advancing a $9 billion Doge cut. Again, guys, the right stuff is happening. They're going to be stripping away PBS, NPR, and USAID, bankrupted from all this stuff. I think USAID's basically dead. But say goodbye to PBS and NPR. They're just left-wing propaganda, funded by our government taxpayer dollars. Bye, bitch. My buddy Jake, I love Jake, guys. He's a good dude. Do not listen to him on China. Jake, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I love you. He's from Colorado. Good dude. Really good trading indicators. And I love him. I don't know what he's charging for a subscription right now, but he's a good dude. 14 a month. That's a lot, Jake. That's a lot. I only charge 5, bro. But again, he's right here. Look at Tesla getting ready to break out. So as I'm dumping Tesla in my Ally account this morning, I will be using SBET and others in my Hood account to stack Tesla. So I'll be stacking in one while removing from another because I do believe breakouts are coming. I don't know if it's going to be this week or a month from now. I don't know exactly when, but I will be stacking as I'm raping and pillaging in the crypto and Bitcoin markets. I will be stacking more RG calls possibly. I already did that actually. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I bought more RG calls for I want to say January of 2027 or December of 2026, something like that. I am stacking, and I stacked more Sequoians. I gotta get used to that word. Sequoians calls yesterday as well for 95-cent contracts. Loved it. It was fun. Again, if you guys subscribe to me, if you subscribe on YouTube for as little as $2, you can talk and chat. If you subscribe in Discord, I think I dropped it to $4. You get access to all the charts. I've been horrible at adding the newest stuff. I am going to fucking do that. I promise you. Or if nothing else, I'll have admin wife do it. And then at the same time on X, it's $5. So for about $11 all in, you can have access to everything. I think that's pretty valuable personally. And it supports me. And again, the likes, the shares, the comments, guys, that all supports me and I appreciate it. For you guys, and you guys, this is like a crowdsourced community when it comes to investment thesis. And I love that. It's one of the, I don't have my chart sized right here, guys. Let me fix some stuff. If you guys aren't paying attention, Bitcoin's at 119K. It's doing exactly what we said it was going to do. Look at this. And this doesn't perfectly line up. I probably need to adjust it just a hair. Well, no, it does. It does because I was running off of the dailies going all the way back 4.5 years for the daily close for how I was lining this. So you can see how we didn't quite hit it. We didn't quite drop to it. But this is beautiful, guys. This is exactly what I said in a previous post. I said we're going to grind in between this 4.5-year upward trend line and then the fib, and then we can see a breakout in the next 1 to 2 weeks to the upside. So maybe a little bit of chop in this range for Bitcoin while Ethereum and all these other things go up, and then we go up and aggressively attack the next fib at 140,000. I think people are going to start talking about Bitcoin at that level. It's going to get interesting. Retail's starting to get in. They're going to get in a lot by that time. Again, the next 3 months, historically, the next three plus months are the sweet spot where we make shit tons of money. And this is just an example of that. So if you bought GameSquare, I've got 6 figures in it now. It's up 40%. Actually, it's up more than this in pre-market. It is up 43% as of writing this, saying this. There we go. And Chicken Genius, I love him. He is really smart. There was some stuff with Rivian where he did a bad job, but so did I. I was in Rivian for a minute. He thought it was the next Tesla. Obviously not a perfect dude, right? But he's done good in other things, and I really like Chicken Genius. He's a legit good dude. He's an honest person. He speaks his mind. He's very blunt. But he said in July 12th that in 1 month, Powell's out for sure. Understand signaling, language, and politics. And he is 100% right. As Cynthia Loomis now says, Chair Powell must resign. As Pulte says, I heard from a very credible bipartisan source today that Jerome Powell is considering resigning. This maps with both reports and also talk in D.C. And then Anna Paulina Luna in Congress, I think, can't remember her position, hearing Jerome Powell is getting fired from very serious sources. He's going away. And Chicken Genius called it, so good on you, bro. And me just saying this has been sick, this S-bit ride going from 300,000 to like almost 9 is exciting. Guys, 1,228 people here. Guys, smash those likes. This is amazing. We could, if we hit 1,300, this is the highest organic market open pre-market I've ever had. So if you guys could share, it would be awesome to crush 1,300 a day, guys. Can we look at miners? We can look at miners. Yeah, miners are actually, I've been saying this for a while. I'll just focus on CleanSpark. I call the top an iron, even though I think it can go up here soon. This is beautiful right here, guys. This right here, what we're establishing, to me, looks like a head and shoulders. The measured move on CleanSpark right here. So again, left shoulder, right? Up, breaks down a little bit, right shoulder, and then up into the moon, or just simply a cup and probably a little baby handle here, and then going up. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It all gets us to the same place. But if I just draw up conservatively the measured move on this thing for CleanSpark, the measured move, if I drag this over here, is looking better than it was before. The measured move gets us up into the $22, $23 range, close to previous all-time highs. That's what we're looking at right now, guys. If we really look at this, there's some smaller patterns in here too that get us up really right about to 16, 17, where we'll hit peak volume. But guys, if we get up here around this 0.2 in the 17 range, which I think will happen, and the next month we'll get to this range and we'll probably break above it and then start going into the 24, 25s. It's going to be sweet. This is all bullish. The miners are just laggards. We've been saying that for a long time. It is still true. It has not changed. And if we look at iron, guys, again, I called the top perfectly and sold out and put that stuff into things like SBET, and boy, has that turned out well. I called the top right up here, and now we're grinding. This thing just did really well. It led. The HPC play was huge, and it can still do well. It could go up even higher, guys. I hate calling tops on this stuff because I did that with Palantir, and look at how that's turned out. It's still going up. But 20, guys, look at this. 20 right here. It could go up to 28. I think this cycle, this thing could go up to 39, maybe even bust above that temporarily. All things are possible. This is just the trend line that goes all the way back to 2023. It can break above it. Hell, iron could end up. Iron's only it's a 4 billion right now. Maybe it could go even into the 70s if things get crazy. But I do think it's toppy, and I'm not really excited about iron. I think Mara and CleanSpark are much better bets. CleanSpark's up 2.5% in pre-market. Mara's up 3.46 now in pre-market. And again, I think this was signal, not noise. This wasn't telling us about a top. It was just telling us that, hey, it's natural for me to flow up where there's no volume on the profile throughout the historical. But this still looks beautiful too, guys. This is a pattern where we overshot to the downside, wicked up with like a tweezer bottom, and then we've just been going up ever since. The measured move still gets us up here, guys, to the 25 range. A 35% increase from where we're at. And again, guys, if you subscribe to the Discord, if I see a bunch of people popping into there, and I have to do it anyway, for the people that have been so loyal, I will update. All these charts are available. All these are there, and I'll be adding a bunch more. And we'll start a session in the pre-market open where we spend like maybe a half an hour to an hour eventually going through charts and looking up additional investment opportunities that you guys are talking about. And then you guys see these charts. Every time I update them, they're in the Discord. You guys can chat with each other about them and discuss. And again, other people post charts and other information and news-related sources. You can go there and see what we've been talking about. But most importantly, I think you can see my trades for today. Historically, people are like, and I haven't put in the ones from this morning because we've been doing the show, so I'll do it later. I do it on, the order is I do the stuff in the show when we're in the show, then it goes to X, that's the next priority, and then it goes to Discord right after X. So after I get done posting in X, I post it in here. But you can go back and see the historical for every trade I've done and get better acquainted. It's not loading right now, like I have to probably refresh. But all this stuff is in there and you have access to it. Oh, probably don't want to show all that. And then again, portfolio allocations. You can see that stuff, and then and charts. We've got a bunch of charts in here. This is older. I don't know unless somebody updated it. You guys updated it. Matthew Smith updated it. You guys are fucking awesome. But there also too under this, all these stocks. You can see all of the stuff that people are talking about. Like look at this. I didn't even put Oscar in here. You guys did that. But you could see the different charts. You can ask for them to be updated in here, and I can do that. This is $4 a month. I think it's well worth it. Let's keep going. Yep. So again, over here, guys, 21 hours ago, I said, guys, this is perfect. We just want to bounce off of this upward trend line. That's exactly what we did. Yeah, people saying they made a lot of money because of me. That's cool. Don't care about that. What did I say for this? I think with one of these, I said noise because of the delay in the boat. I'm like, this is just noise. Don't worry about it. That ended up being true. Michael, he had a really good post here. I'm not going to go into all of it, but says, nothing has made me more bullish on Metaplanet than learning how yield-starved Japanese investors are. If they can spin up preferred share, these things are going to print money. Here is some some quick and dirty math of why this is a 5x better opportunity than doing prefs in the USA. So again, go in and look at his post and watch it, but it's very thorough. It's very thorough. And again, if these guys uplist and they're available in better markets and we're doing preferreds, they're just following the Michael Saylor formula with his blessing, guys. This is super exciting. Hit the likes if you're excited about this. Comment, guys. The best XRP treasury plays. I don't care about XRP at all. I'm not even going to indulge it. I think XRP is the devil. I think Brad Garlinghouse is a piece of shit. He was actively lobbying to prevent a Bitcoin treasury. He was actively lobbying with Democrats to try and create a central bank digital currency to control your lives. I will not be promoting XRP or even looking at anything XRP related in this YouTube channel. I will not do it. I have standards. I won't do it. I don't support the bad guys ever. Let me look here. I'm just trying to see if anybody's linked to any news. If you got any news events that we're missing, guys, please throw them out there. And thank you guys for all the retweets on X. If you guys please do that too, that helps a ton. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Let's go back here and just keep going. SRP down 215. Or SWC, sorry. Is it down this morning? Oh, beautiful. Oh, shit. Is it down a bunch? Oh, I'm buying. Oh, yeah, I'm buying. Or is that from yesterday? I can't tell. No, this is SWC. SWC is in the UK market. It is down a bunch today, guys. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's exciting. What about Metaplanet? Are we going to go down to Metaplanet? DN3 is open. It's down 5%. That's not as much. But is it under the 50? Oh, it's under the 50. So Smarter Web is bleeding. I'm probably going to buy that one first with my priority. Metaplanet isn't bleeding as much, and it might not because again, we're just talking about how awesome it is. So when I sell that, I'll have about 250,000 in cash. I'm going to be buying some Smarter Web today. I think that looks too juicy not to. People are retarded. I don't know why they would be selling right now. Fears of dilution, stupidity. Maybe they bought at the top. That's probably what it is. It's all emotional. Because if you bought Smarter Web, guys, if you bought it at 8:43 and you're waking up this morning and it's at 2:30, 2:36, you're probably just crying. You're probably crying. You've lost 75% of your investment. So I get that. It's just emotional though and really stupid. You could wait a month and have all your money back. I mean, don't be retarded. Don't be retarded. Don't sell on emotion, guys. Fuck. People are FOMOing to other treasuries. That too. And that's beautiful, actually. And again, I think they're FOMOing right now into Ethereum-based treasuries and maybe trying to front run Solana-based treasuries. And that's all beautiful, guys. We want that. We want people to make bad decisions so that we can benefit. That's what we want. So again, I retweeted this, I think, just a second ago, because I want you guys to read this. It is so good. And again, we're just going to... A Canadian public company, Planet Ventures, buys Bitcoin. We already talked about the Panamanian one. We already talked about the Swedish one. Okay. Oh, yeah, we went through this. Let's go down. We need to get to the newest stuff. Or to some of the other stuff that we haven't covered yet. Oh, let's see. That we got to past that. Okay, cool. I think we're getting close. Yeah, we're getting close. We already talked about that. Jesse's crew. Thank you, Q. I love Q. This is great. I love Star Trek. My wife really loves it. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, and this, guys. Again, Haven't I been saying for a while Ethereum treasuries would start to outperform in a big way? Well, that's going to play out in spades starting 1+ weeks ago, saying basically it's already started. And again, Bitcoin was down, Ethereum was up a lot. It's hard. You shouldn't fade that. You should not fade that. Remember, Emperor Palpatine has told you not to fade Ethereum right now, and then to use your Ethereum monies to buy Bitcoin treasuries and your other favorite things that you want in the future. Let's see here. Oh, did we get more data? Nope, it's not 8 yet. Again, just so many Climb guys. Ashley Climber, he just has such good information. I retweet pretty much everything he says. And I said, here's the secret. It's all going much higher. And I put out a bunch of these. It's so true. And again, just everybody getting excited in pre-market. Tom Lee pushing Ethereum like a fucking madman. Look at this. He's doing full vlogs of this stuff. I haven't read it all, so I'm not going to. A lot of juice for ETH. So here's the thing. Just his promotion alone is going to make this skyrocket. I'm actually going to repost this because, again, I want people to pay attention to it. He's going to single-handedly pump this fucking thing. He got Peter Thiel to buy $180 million in BMNR. You don't think he's going to pump Ethereum? How much more could SWC bleed? I don't know. It's so low already. Like, what is it? Less than 5x now potentially with what it just fell through. And again, this is a really strong support zone in my opinion. So could it go lower? I mean, this is a if you draw this out, this is a descending triangle. It could theoretically. Let's see if there's some daily price gaps. No, there's nothing. I think today is it. But could it end up wicking down and going even lower into the 100 range? I don't know. People are retarded. Asking how irrational people can be over a shorter period of time, they can be pretty irrational. Here's the deal. I will stack the fuck out of this. I will take SBET and just stack the fuck out of this. I'll take Tesla and I'll stack the fuck out of this. I am ready to make wicked amounts of money from other people's stupidity. This thing is down 26%. It's a bleed out today, guys. This is it. Here's what I predict. This is a bleeder today. I'm buying it on the way down. It is down, 20, 26, 20, whatever. This is beautiful. It is down 26% in the UK. It's bleeding, and what's going to happen is maybe even we wick down. Maybe this is it, but it will get back up to here, I predict, and close at 331-ish. That's in the U.S. market. And then here, what is that? That is I don't even know what that is because let me switch it back. What is this? British pounds, something like whatever. It'll this 220 range. It'll wick back up to close above this line. And again, I'll add this in the Discord so that you guys can keep track of it. And again, when I share out all these charts and put them in the Discord, you guys have a way to be able to look at this and see what's going on, and you can see where my alerts are set. You could even copy it, I believe, and turn it into your own chart and set your own alerts on it. So it's good stuff. Yeah, I already said that, Theo, that Tom Lee bought 2 million of his own for $4.50. For $4.50 is what he got it at for BMNR for $4.50. Are you shitting me? I didn't look at that part. That's a crazy good deal. It's only up 18% for BMNR on pre-market. SBET's up 18 or 17% now, so it's getting ready to, it's rocking. But again, guys, I'm going to turn some of this money. I'm probably putting $200,000 into SBET today, or I'm sorry, into SWC today, and MTPLF, with probably 3/4 of that being SWC, the way it's going. So really good stuff. Let me go live here. I'm going to go live.
Super intelligence.
I am out of coffee and out of all my drinks because I've just been pounding shit today. So I'm actually going to jump over here. I'm going to let you guys listen to She for just a minute here. We are in the live part, and then I'll be right back. Give me another minute here, guys, and I'll be right back. I'll be fast.
This point, but he talked about glasses. He talked about the 5 things in his head after a conversation that he wants to follow up on but doesn't. What if that happened automatically?
I screwed something
up. So he's trying to define some new product turf.
Are we back?
I have questions about the business models in that product turf, the feasibility of the product turf. But I think it is different from the very productivity focus we've seen with others. And then compute. You know, I think I really believe that perhaps we're focused too much on the money that's luring these researchers and not as much the access to GPUs that's luring them. And I think he thinks he has a great hand in that race as well. But this is one of the first times I had heard him speak so much about personal superintelligence, which, if you're keeping score, superintelligence has lately replaced AGI as the buzzword in AI. So I think we'll see, but it seems like he's sensing a real divergence opportunity on products as well.
Jessica, it's a longer conversation. Look forward to having it with you again. We'll be right back. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry. All right, one sec here, guys. Let me get back. Sorry about that. 1,300. We're so close, guys. Record-breaking stuff. Thank you so much. I'm going to drop this down below. I'm actually going to look real quickly, too, and just see if there's anything on CNBC that was interesting for videos. As we're waiting here. Is there news on SWC? I haven't seen any. Do you guys see any? Here, let's go back. Let's see if we can find anything. I mean, there's just the wicked accumulation that they just got. That's all I'm seeing. Let's look, though. Let's go to latest. Bro, can you share the general interface of FundStrat as a subscriber? I am much more interested in Tom Lee and his research than before and need your comments. Oh, you want me to? Yeah, I can't do that every day, guys, because I need to get people to subscribe. If I can get more of you guys to subscribe, I can't give away his work for free, especially as I grow. But we might take a look for a minute. Tony just showing the breakdown, how he broke out of this upward trend. I mean, that's true. But we have, no, I don't really see anything interesting at all. I think I should sell CleanSpark for Smarter Web. I've got them both, man. I can't tell you. I don't know your percentages. I don't know how you're allocated. I can't give financial advice. I'm not accredited. I don't know. I do think that Smarter Web could have some reflexivity real quick here as it bounces a shit ton from people's stupidity. So, but I capitalize on stupidity, guys. That's kind of my thing. I love markets that, and it looks like, let's see where we're at right now on the Smarter Web. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, it's still down 26%. Oh my God, so juicy. I hope it does that in the U.S. market. I hope it drops even more. I hope it just drops a shit ton. I want to lose so much money on Smarter Web today. That would just, it's like a wet dream. All right. So let me see here. So again, it's about 8 o'clock. Let's do this. I want to see if there are any good videos here. And yeah, we can look at Tom Lee too, probably just for a minute. So we got French Hill. Let's see your top videos. French Hill, we already looked at that. Gary Cohen on state of the economy. May be interesting. CoreWeave CEO, no further expected in the House today. That was from yesterday. U.S. firms remain meaningfully ahead of Chinese competitors. Oh, yeah, dude, that's a no-brainer. Let me see if there's anything else I'm interested in. HSBC, crypto bounces after Congress stumbles. Goldman Sachs, Morgan. Yeah, nothing.
Buzz.com.
I'm not seeing anything interesting. One sec here.
Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs all reported results earlier today. Let's bring in.
And they're great. That's the shortcut. So the banks are doing great. Everybody's happy. Let me go ahead real quickly. I'm going to dump this over in the corner. And then we're going to go over and probably look at what Tom Lee's doing. And again, guys, I can't do this every day. But I guess I'm only here 3 days a week. So that's not every day either. Let's go back real quickly, though, and see if he has anything new today to talk about. We've got Hardika Singh. She's got first to market. Even the bad news wasn't all that bad. And we got Tom Lee last night. Super Granny and Schmid market update. All right, let's see what he has to say. We'll do this today. I'll probably do this like once a week, guys, because I don't want to give away his proprietary information. But I do want to get people to sign up for it because it's fucking amazing from the best research that you can pay for. And again, I'm cheaper. I'm only like $11 for all in for everything. But this research is amazing. So again, maybe 4 times a month I'll share it. Unless Tom sues me, which he wouldn't do because he loves me. Here we go. Don't sue me, Tom.
Good
Seriously.
evening, FS Insight family and community. Today is Tuesday, July 15th, and this is our Macro Minute. Before I start today's video, I want to remind you that
What else to sign up for? You signed up for FS Insights and Cross Border Capital. Those are the best as far as research and analytics. Those are the best, literally the best. A lot of the rest I give away here for free. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that. I'll probably try and create a list.
tomorrow, Wednesday, July 16th at 2 p.m. is our Super Grannies and Market Update webinar, so please tune in. There's a few things I just want to highlight. Stocks fell today because of June core CPI. I want to walk you through why those numbers probably aren't as bad as you think. The CPI report came in at 0.23 month over month, and the year over year was 2.93%. And one thing to keep in mind is that when you look at the next few months, July through actually October, the comps are going to get easier. So I think that unless inflation really starts to accelerate, the year over year should start to cool on core. And that would make then 5 months where inflation reports came in better than expected.
5 months.
But as you can see, there were a lot of reports that viewed inflation as having accelerated in June. And I just want to address that because I do think there was a pickup in goods costs. For instance, if you look at commodities, which is goods, it went from a negative last month to a positive this month. And if you look at the top 10 contributors to increases in core inflation, and this is contribution to growth, you can see that these were all essentially goods items, and they accounted for 7/10 of the 0.23% rise in inflation for the month. So here's what I wanted to zoom in on, that if you look at these components, it's things like window and floor coverings, other household equipment, sporting goods, household supplies, women and girls apparel, recreational sports, appliances, footwear, and furniture and bedding. And so I think, and if you look at the May to June, you can kind of see that I actually understand why there is some of this inflation that looks like it's being reflected in these items. And in fact, if you take window coverings, for instance, you can see the progression of from February to now of the month over month rise. And in fact, the year over year has actually turned positive. It hasn't for sporting goods or household equipment, which were the other two big contributors, but you get the picture. But here's the thing. I mean, I think to an extent that this is one of those, if you're an inflation hawk, then everything is a nail, with this headline especially. And the reason I point that out is if you look at something like Trueflation, inflation did rise on Trueflation through June, but has actually since turned down. And if you look at Conference Board or UMISH or Fed one-year inflation expectations, they've all been actually.
How did I forget Invest Answers? Yes. Sub to Invest Answers. He's got a Patreon. I don't know if it's like $8 or something last time I checked. Let me see. Is this Patreon? This is about global liquidity from Cross Border Capital. But let me see. Yeah, I don't. Oh no, this is just the Substack. But yeah, Patreon for sure. Definitely sign up for James. James is such a brilliant person. Support James. I love Invest Answers.
Trending down recently. So I think to an extent there may be price increases coming from tariffs, but that's different from inflation because again, the Fed is concerned they don't know how consumers are going to react. But I just want to point out something. A tariff is a tax, and I've talked about this before.
Listen to this. This is truth. This is signal. Listen.
Because let's say the government's trying to raise $200 billion in tax revenues, which is what the tariffs are doing. And you can either raise taxes or you can actually have companies raise the prices and the proceeds are paid to the government because that's the same effect, right? Because it's a tariff and those fees are paid to the government. Well, in the case of this being an outright tax, okay, the Fed would view this as a risk to consumer spending and actually would be dovish. Now, somehow we're saying that if companies are raising the prices and the money's still going to the government, that's actually inflation. But I'd actually argue that this is literally the same thing. And the Fed would argue this is a risk to consumer spending instead. So I think that it tells me, does it make sense that we're viewing this as inflation? Of course, the mechanism is prices, but it's still money paid to the government. So I just don't think it makes sense. So again, please tune into our Super Grannies webinar tomorrow. And as far as the markets, stocks fell today. Pretty painful risk-off day, but we are just back to Friday's levels. I do think pullbacks are going to be shallow. And one of the reasons for this is that Bitcoin did break out to an all-time high to 124,000. And, keep in mind, Bitcoin made the all-time high in January. The S&P was just behind it by a month. They both bottomed around the same time, although the S&P kind of had a double bottom. And then Bitcoin made a new all-time high in May. The S&P followed a month later. Bitcoin just broke out. I think a breakout's coming for the S&P. So This is still the most hated V-shaped rally, but it is also an indestructible market that has endured all these extinction risks, and the PE should be going up. And again, the financials and small caps took it particularly hard today, but that's because the market is worried about inflation. But again, I do think that these are temporary concerns. And so I would stick with washed out stocks, Mag 7 Bitcoin, industrials, financials, and small caps. And these are the washed out stocks, large cap, and washed out stocks that are SMID. So stay on target and just keep in mind this is still the most hated V-shaped rally.
He didn't allude to the PPI, but again, the PPI data was just fucking brilliant, guys. So there's a lot of good stuff happening right here. Ragu says, Jesse, do you think it's a good idea to see iron and move that to SBET? That's what I did. I can't tell you what to do. I did that at 9 and change. I still think SBET's a much better deal, but it's up 17% in pre-market after being up 21% yesterday. Could it take a pause for a period of time? Maybe, but I still think that I just told you earlier, I think the MNAV at like 2.35 is stupid low. Maybe it's at 2.5 or 2.6 right now. I don't know that it's updated with pre-market data, but I think it's a crazy good deal personally. But you guys have to make your own decisions. What are the crowns? Like, who was here first? That's new. I've never seen that before. Tom Lee's brilliant. Just by watching this little clip, he showed it. Oh, he's so brilliant. Guys, this is such a good membership. I don't know how many people, I'm going to move this off screen and see how many people are signed up that have activated because of me. It's a lot, but it should be more because I want to support Tom Lee in every possible way I can. He is just such a good human being. He's a good human being behind the scenes, guys. And there's people like James Invest Answers. Looks like I have almost 50 active referrals right now. So 50 people have signed up to pay like 200, 250 a month. If you have a shit ton of money, you should have this subscription. It is so worth it. I'm going to put the referral link down below, guys, just in case anybody is interested. This is the link to be able to see Tom Lee's stuff. Again, I'll maybe commit to once a week showing a Tom Lee video or some data points. I won't be doing it every day. I just threw the referral link in there. If anybody's interested in signing up, do it. It's so worth it. You will not regret it. It's the easiest money ever. And oh, here's the deal. Oh, God, I should say this actually. This is awesome. So if you do sign up, share it with other people and get them to sign up too. It's the best Ponzi scheme on earth. So if you guys go, if you look here, if you just do the macro, like if you do crypto's valuable. I think it's really great. But if you just did macro for 200, if you refer one person, it's 170 a month. If you do 2 people, it's 140. If you do 3, it's 110. If you bring it down to, if you get 7 people referred, it's free. You literally aren't paying for it anymore. So they're brilliant in how they market this. So if you refer other people, you end up saving a bunch of money, and then you get all those insights. I just think it's so cool. Cool. Now the crown proves that I always win, or that you always come there first, Gemini. Sweet. All right, let's take a look here. So we got more data, guys, coming out at 8:15. I'm excited about this additional data. I want to see what industrial production, capacity utilization, and manufacturing are looking like. What I would love to see, and I don't know if we'll see it. I don't know if we'll see more weakness, but I feel like we could see an increase in manufacturing and industrial production and capacity utilization. If we're seeing PPI, producer prices, going down, or I should say not inflating at the rate people are expecting them to inflate at and stabilizing, but then at the same time we see industrial and manufacturing getting better, goosebumps are coming back. I'll tell you that. Definitely good stuff if that's the case. Very, very good stuff. I'm real quickly, guys, going to jump over here while we're waiting. I can see everything from my pro version of X here. So I'm just going to look. I'm going to refresh this. I've got queries in the middle that you can see. I've got the notifications from you guys on there, and then I've got my home screen. So I'm just going to look here and see if there's anything of interest. Looks like we're talking about Diablo Hardcore #1 ranking for Elon Musk. Congrats, bro. We know you're paying people, but hey, I have never seen this porn. Seems interesting. XAI, everyone. I love that. All right, what else we got here? Footage showing a closer angle of today's strike by the Israeli force on Syria. So yeah, Syria is getting hit now, guys, by Israeli forces to try and help, not the Yazidis, what are the other people? The Druze, to try and help the Druze. and support a pro-Assad Druze majority militia because they're massacring people. It's so much stuff going on around the world all the time. If you guys have any new news links over here, throw them up. I'm just going to look through here. HODL 15, growing demand for MicroStrategy's 3 preferred quality equity ATMs will fuel Bitcoin purchases. Look at this, guys. Look at how much people are buying Strike, Strife, and Stride now. That is sick. That is sick. I love it. Reposting that. I might Coincilium, guys. I might buy a little bit of that today too, but I do find it's just not the sure play. It's a cheaper play. I might buy a little bit of that today too. Maybe 20, 30 grand worth. Tesla to launch 6-seater Model Y in China. Cool. How do we learn how to learn best this game of trading? Oh, I mean, just watch me, guys. Watch me. Slide tackle. Just watch me, bro. People ask me that all the time, and I'm like, spend some time with me, ask some questions, subscribe to chat, and we'll talk. Invest Answers too. Watch him. He's brilliant. He gives you lots of data over short periods of time. And then again, if you got the extra money, subscribe to Tom Lee. And if you can go down the rabbit hole, I hate to tell people to subscribe to Cross Border. You got to be like deep in it for Cross Border because Michael Howell is brilliant, and you might just be confused as to what the fuck he is even saying half the time. So again, he's not the easiest to digest because of just the level of brilliance that he is. Yes, IA Family is awesome. 7 days a week posts. Yeah, Invest Answers has the hardest work ethic in the space. Far surpasses me. I've got other priorities in life. I'm getting a call right now. It's probably people trying to sell me a mortgage, motherfuckers. What do you think about Mark Moss and Matador? I don't know. I haven't heard about Mark Moss's relationship to it. I know they're looking to kind of tie in with gold purchases and Bitcoin. I don't know if I love that. I don't like the muddy waters concept where you have multiple themes going on, unless they're just really complementary, like HPC and Bitcoin acquisition. So I don't know what to think. You guys tell me if it's interesting at all, and maybe we can look at it a little bit later. Lots of people subscribing. Thank you guys for that. Keep pumping SBET, brother Tom. Yeah. Here's your runaway tariff-induced inflation, folks. It's non-existent. These are not... I hope that must be a joke, right? Michael, tell me you're joking. Let's see what the posts say underneath. I've been beating the contrarian drum that Trump 2.0 policy is net deflationary. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, he's right. Yeah, so I was like, Michael Cow is too smart. I hope to God he's not making that stupid of a statement. But yeah, no, he's not. He's a smart dude. He's a real smart dude. We're going to repost this. I don't know why more people don't. He's got 106,000 followers. This must just be a new post. People need to be posting this. Can you share leap calls on SQNS and explain a bit more of your strategy? I just think it's cheap, and I think it could go up a lot. And the calls have like negative gamma or whatever on it. It's sitting really good. I think they're good, but watch my option. I've got an options 101 video, guys. I've got an options 101 video that tells you how I look at options. I am not interested in options. I just got done telling people that I don't want to buy any more options, but it was just too good of a deal on Sequoians. And I don't even know that mine are the best deal because I saw people, even after I told you motherfuckers not to pile into them, a bunch of people piled into them and drove the price up, and then it got crushed the next day, so that'll teach you. But I'm down 13% on my contract right now, but I bought more yesterday. I'm in the $7 strike for October of 2025. I didn't want to go much beyond October. That is a short time frame for me, something I normally wouldn't even touch. But I think $7 for Sequoians is a pretty easy reach. It's up 2.33% to 483. So it's just a stupid easy target to hit. And I think more people will be hitting it soon. And that's just easy money. I think it's just easy money. So I love easy money. I'm big on that. So normally I wouldn't touch it, but right now I am. But again, you can look at other contracts, guys. You don't have to pump my fucking bags. There might be some other ones with a different strike or a different date that works better. Take a look. Watch my Option 101 video. Just remember, options were a really great idea when the S&P was sitting down. Here, let me just show you. Options, when you should have been piling into options, was down here. It's not necessarily right up here. and it definitely shouldn't be unless you're hedging when we get above 7,000 in the 7,300 range on the S&P this year. It shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be buying options unless you're hedging. So just remember that. Just be wise. Don't get yourself wrecked, guys. Smarter Web Company down 27% in I shouldn't say pre-market, in the UK. Love it, love it, love it. I don't see any news events in here, guys, but I absolutely love how much it's getting crushed. Such a beautiful thing. Oh, did we get our extra data? All right, let's look, guys. Let's look. We got industrial production, 0.3%, higher than the consensus of 0.1% month over month, and it hit the forecast. Capacity utilization, 77.6, above previous, above consensus, and above forecast. Industrial production year over year, 0.7%, below the forecast of 1.5, but above the previous of 0.6. So we got some growth there. Manufacturing production, 0.8%, below the forecast of 1.1, but above the previous of 0.5. So these data points look better. They're not hitting on all. But man, if you go back over the last 3 years, it's nice to be positive. It's nice to be positive, isn't it? Versus what we were. Just remember this, guys. If we go back 5 years, we're looking at the most positive manufacturing production-related data and consistent production-related data since back in October, November of 2022 when we fell into the red. This is good stuff. We're warming up. The engines are warming up. Love it. Let's look at industrial over that same time frame. We'll go back 5 years. Again, guys, let's go back 10 years. Let's go back more. So this stuff was shit before in 2019, guys. This was shit before the pandemic happened. Then we had a big leap for a very brief period of time for a couple years just because money printer go burr, okay? Now we're actually back in the positive territory again. But if you go back here, guys, these are uncharted waters as we just destroyed our industrial production and manufacturing production and are now starting to see upticks into positive territory. Love it. Capacity utilization, what kind of numbers are we looking at going back 10 years? Again, before we were heading into descent. Now we look like we're heading into ascent. But we were in descent heading into the pandemic. We fell off a cliff, and then we just started going up, and then we started rolling down, and now I feel like we're ticking up again because the policies are good. SWC done 29% in pre. Oh, this is the washout, guys. This is the washout. Oh, look at that, though. Negative 10%. Somebody already did it, guys. Somebody bought the shit out of that. Oh, I love this volatility. Oh, I love this volatility. Oh. Am I buying Tesla today? I did buy Tesla today. I bought about $60,000 worth in my Robinhood account with the SBIT sales, maybe 65, 70. But I'm dumping $220,000 in Tesla today in my Ally account because I'm going to... No, I'm not selling game. It's way too small. I think it can go 15, 20x. But I'm dumping it in my Ally account because I'm going to be buying Smarter Web Company all morning and maybe a few other things. Very excited about that, guys. Very excited about that. So just bleed, motherfucker. Go down. Go down, Smarter Web. This is the stuff I love. Did you guys see, chat, did you see when that thing went down 27, 29%, and then it immediately shot up to negative 10%? There are some big buyers that are they're salivating. I don't even know how long this thing will be down. Unfortunately, with my Ally, I can't buy in pre, or I'd just be gobbling that shit up. But again, once Metaplanet uplists, once they get their preferred offering going and their Stride-like product, or Strife-like product with Metaplanet, and then we see an uplisting and getting off of just Oculus for Smarter Web, it's just going to be easier to buy, and that's just going to open up the floodgates, in my opinion. So I'm stoked about all of this, guys. Tim H says, or just joined, you can talk now in chat, bro. SBET is at 33.90. Isn't that insane? It's up 17% right now, guys. I bet you on Robinhood, I'm probably $1 million on that one now. Oh, no, I'm sorry, just 907,000. So I'm officially up over 200% in about 13 days on this account. Sitting much closer to $1 million. And again, my Tesla position, I've got 204 shares now. So as I'm selling from one, I'm putting in the other and moving some funds around to be able to get the things that I want to buy. It's just so exciting, guys. It's so exciting. We got So see where some people, this is where it pays to have the edge. Where some people see fear, I see some super exciting shit going on. I see the Fed getting ready to lower rates because Papa Powell loses his job. I just see so many opportunities. I see the ability to be able to DCA aggressively into Tesla before it pops, hopefully. Hopefully I can get $500,000 in Tesla to $1 million. Just Tesla right now, not really fucking with the TSLL. Not looking to do a lot of leverage plays right now, guys. I got so much leverage already. Not looking to do more. Jesse, I can't buy SWC. Is ASST? Where do you live? Can you get TSW, CF? Also, they have another ticker, I want to say, for SWC now. There might be 3. They might have a German one if somebody knows it. I like asset entities. That's like a Vivek Ramaswamy startup type one, otherwise known as ass and titties. I do like that one. It's been dropping as of late after skyrocketing to $10. It's now down to $5.84, taking a breather. It's only a 96 million cap, but remember they're still going through an acquisition. There's probably some dilution that's going to be happening within all of that. So I don't know. I wouldn't get too excited. I was selling that when it was flying last week, I want to say, or the week before, whatever it was. SWC is available in Sydney. Sucks. Germany. Oh, 3M8. Is 3M8 SWC's German ticker? I should probably keep an eye on that too. No chart, but you can buy it. Okay. Jesse, love your playbook post the other day. Thanks. My playbook is follow Jesse. If you're going from 5.5 million to 12 million, 12 million is my low target. I've just been too lazy to raise it. My target is really like 20 million between now and the end of the year. So 12 is just like, if I don't get 12, I'm super disappointed in myself and probably crying a little bit. Oh, you know what? I should look this up. My MetaPlanet post was fire. Let's find that real quick. Just 1 second here. MTPLF. Oh, I did this the other day. I posted this in a few different channels. It's fire. It's good shit. Let me just real quickly find it. I gotta like do the advanced search though. Yeah, you gotta see this thing. It's good shit. I don't mess around, man. I actually put some thought into this. This was just yesterday. I normally don't put a lot of effort into things because I'm super lazy. But well, I mean, not that lazy. I'm not too bad. I shouldn't give myself a hard time. But I'm just not Invest Answers by any means. Let me see. Right here, baby. This is the juice. I'm going to repost this, too. I'm going to repost this because I want you guys to be able to easily find it because it's really good. Share it out if you haven't. It looks like 136,000 people viewed it. But we're going to go through this real quick. So I said I saw something like this the other day, but I think it needs to be reiterated so people understand what's coming with the upcoming earnings for Bitcoin treasury companies like MetaPlanet. Currently, they're sitting on roughly 350 million in unrealized profits for roughly the last quarter, right? So these don't get counted in the same way, but it doesn't matter. I said this is about 100 million more than what Palantir pulled in via net income. This is a comparable measure. It's not the same because of the way accounting rules work, which was 214 million. So you can look here, guys. Palantir is more than a third of a $1 trillion company. Definitely overvalued by all metrics, but still there's a method to the madness and why I'm showing this to you. So look at how many quarters they've had. They pulled in billions in net income, barely. I said, I know these aren't directly comparable metrics, but there is truth to be found within them. I said, next, let's look at how these companies are valued. MetaPlanet, $6.5 billion. Today, what is MetaPlanet at? 6.43, including pre-market, maybe it's 6.3 billion. Palantir, 337 million. Palantir's maybe 300 billion. It's probably 340 billion now with pre-market, maybe. I said, did you see a disparity here? I mean, it's not like Palantir has brought in that much in the way of net income, which when you go back years, they were in the red. So why do they deserve to operate at a multiple of net income of 52x that of MetaPlanet, probably 53x right now? And I go, does that seem right to you? Also, does it make you think that, wow, Metaplanet is in a huge bubble right now with Bitcoin getting ready to explode higher? I'm like, if you're me, you're left going, maybe there's room for Metaplanet to run as retail starts to pile in. And again, we looked at the Google Trends data. They haven't. And I pointed out that same thing that I just pointed out to you here with the data, that Powell hiked the most aggressively in history. And even with doing that, this was up here, and now we're over here right now. So we're just not seeing retail in. I said also something investors do not seem to get in the last quarter. And listen to this part, guys. You've gained 2.7x the number of Bitcoin per share after dilution. So blue is with dilution, pink is without it. You're doing better. The more they sell their stock, the more preferred offerings are sold. You're getting more Bitcoin per share every time they do that, even though you could have the MNAV be high. Think of that as like a PE ratio, forward earnings. Think of it as stuff like that, okay? Because you're gaining more Bitcoin. Their growth rate of this company, Metaplanet, is much more than Palantir's. So I'm like, so yes, they operated a multiple of their Bitcoin holdings, currently an MNAV of 3.6. I think now it's 3.4 or less. But the amount of BTC you're getting has increased a lot over a very short period of time, not less. You're not getting less Bitcoin per share. You're getting more all the time. Every time they dilute you. Dilute me harder, baby. All while this company continues to gobble up BTC, increasing the flywheel effect, which more and